Hi, I've been coding a lot lately, and partly due to having a load of Replit credits from my build-a-thon win. So thank you, Replit. So I thought I'd just make some videos to show it because I make all this stuff and then nobody's going to know it exists unless I actually show it to people. So okay. This is called BrandCaster.studio. I've just added a HandCash login to this, so now you can log in and use it if you're a BSV HandCash user. If anybody really likes it and wants me to put Stripe on this, let me know. I should probably do that, but I haven't done it yet. Right, so the idea of this website is I make loads of social media assets for advertising all the stuff I make, and it used to take a long time, but it doesn't need to anymore. And this app really analyzes, you point it at your website, it analyzes the site, and it produces social media assets tailored to your offering that you can use immediately. And it also makes videos and also makes animated characters for your website or your app if you want as well. So let's go to the dashboard. I am already logged in. So what I'll probably do is just show you some brand runs that I've already done, because otherwise I'm going to be going around finding text and images off my hard disk, and that'll take ages. So here's one I've done within the last few days. So here we can see this is the URL of the website. I have pasted in the text of the landing page, and that is because quite often apps are hard for websites to go and read. So if you paste in your text, I mean, it could be handwritten. I could have just written that off pat, but I didn't. I just copied the text from the home page because it says most of what I wanted to say. Pasted it in there, and then that makes sure that it really is creating assets that are tailored to your brand. I've clicked Remix Creative Assets, and what that's really good for is it means that it will use parts of the things that it sees in the images that you attach within the graphics it produces. So that's very, very helpful. And really, if your brand is about you as a person, say, it's a course delivered by you or something like that, putting in photos of yourself will really help because it will be included in the ads it makes. And of course, include your logo. I've included some screenshots here, but it could be any kind of image assets that you already have that you think are particularly relevant to your brand. And then we've toggled on Huck mode here, which just means it writes the ads as a curiosity gap question, so-called. Anyone who knows much about marketing will understand that. And we've got a carousel mode toggled on here, and that will produce a 4-slide carousel, perfect for using on Instagram and LinkedIn and other places where you can have carousels. So this created a couple of carousels for me. Oh, I shouldn't skip past this really. So this is a quick brand analysis, talking about my brand identity, my colors that I use, tone and voice. It's not very good at identifying fonts, so I wouldn't rely on that too heavily. I should make it so that you can just specify the font, honestly, but I'll perhaps do that. And then it talks about your market segments that you're trying to appeal to, and you can download this entire brand kit by clicking on this download button here. We have the 4 carousel images. They each have a caption if you want it, and then there's an overall caption for the whole carousel itself. We can download all these separately. They've got a nice download PDF button now, which allows you to download it as a PDF because that's what you would use in LinkedIn to have a carousel. I've got another set of carousels here, and then if I toggled off carousel, if I didn't have carousel selected, it would create these style of assets, which are just specifically sort of in the aspect ratio that would appeal to or be useful in different social media websites. So this one's good for Twitter. It's a sort of a 16:9. This one's a square. I think it's good for Instagram. Yes, Instagram. 9 by 16. What's that good for? I should know this. I don't know. Pinterest? I'm not really sure. I'm not very well up on these things, but in any case, it produces the assets. As you can see, well, you don't know anything about One Satchel, but this is a pretty good bang-on representation of what the site is and does, with some really nice captions. Stop asking for permission to be paid. One Satchel turns your bio into a direct Bitcoin payment gateway. No middlemen, no delays. Just pure peer-to-peer commerce. So you can see it's very relevant. It's very on the button. And I can ask it to then turn them into videos for me as well, and I can then extend those clips as well if I want to. And then I can, down at the bottom, I can generate a new batch, and that will just generate like a new batch of images, and then you click on them to generate each one as and when needed. So you don't necessarily get all those different aspect ratio formats again unless you actually ask it to make them. So there's that. I'll perhaps just show you a couple of others so you can see that it's very different generations. This is a How to Be a Millionaire game that I made. That's some generations for that. That's carousel, of course. I've got all sorts in here. Let's go a bit further down. What have we got? Sonic Star, they were quite good. Yeah, these are some quite nice assets. This is a website I haven't actually finished working on yet, but will soon, and it produced some lovely branded assets for me for that. So you get the idea. And of course I can purchase credits with my HandCash wallet. If I click and open that, I just click on one of these, it opens my HandCash wallet, bing bang, it's paid for. Animate the character I've just added today. It's a new feature. I'm basically jamming together two separate apps because I do actually use them quite a lot myself, and I enjoy them, and I've had a few requests for it as well. So this one is, this aspect of the site is just for generating characters for your brand, because sometimes when you're advertising something, having a character to attach it to capture the imagination, to make it sing a bit, can help. And what is that learning language app? I can't think of the name of right now, but famously it has a character and everybody absolutely loves it. Is it Duolingo? Anyway, you get the idea. So this has got some seeded robots and monsters and people in. You can just select those if you haven't thought of anything or you just want to play with it. Or you can describe your own character, or you can upload an image. It's up to you. And then you tell it what to do, and then your clips appear down here, and then it will put it into a little masked frame for you. I don't know why I haven't got one here as an example. This seems ill prepared on my part, but the idea is that it's like a modal or a pop-up that could play whilst you're waiting for something to load, or whilst you're onboarding somebody to your website or your app, or it could also, of course, be included in your brand run so that it's included in your asset generations as well. So that's the full story. It's slightly rambly, apologies for that, but I'll stop now and I'll show you the next thing soon. Okay.